In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how many things you can do at once. Can you train your strength training system, your cardiovascular system? Can you increase your sprinting capacity at the same time as your endurance capacity? Can you increase your hypertrophy, your muscle size at the same time as your strength while you're doing flexibility and so on? And the answer is yes, you can, to an extent. Each one of these types of exercise does affect the other. So if you increase your strength, you're going to increase your tissue size probably to a certain extent. If you increase your hypertrophy, it increases your strength. Vice versa for the endurance versus sprinting capacity in your cardiovascular system. So each one does affect all the other ones. In fact, strength training increases your sprinting capacity on a cardiovascular level, and endurance athletic activities are going to actually increase your muscular size as well. So they're all affecting each other. Trying to train each one of them at the exact same time is very difficult. So if you're trying to put it all together, you're likely going to go into overtraining, which I'll address in the next video. You need to make sure that you're specifically targeting one or two of those things at the same time, and you'll be increasing in the other areas, but you can't ever overload your body with too much effort or exercise. That's actually counterproductive. If you remember from an earlier video, I talked about how exercise actually makes you less fit. While you're working out, you become weaker and less well off. It's the recovery time that actually increases your capacity. So recovery is basically king here. And you don't want to be working out too much and thinking that that somehow makes you stronger. It's the combination of the right dose of exercise in the right way, and then the recovery from that that makes you stronger. So generally what I would recommend is that if you're going to work endurance, then mix in some strength training with that. That way you've got your endurance cardiovascular mixed with the opposite type of strength training. Or if you're going to do sprints, do some hypertrophy as well. So you can kind of cross-train that way. You can always mix it up and play it by ear with what your body's asking for or wants. Remember that your body's always going to get adapted to the type of working out you do, and it's going to start to want that. So if you do those high-intensity interval trainings, your body's going to want and need, and maybe even have trouble falling asleep at night without having done the maximum unleashing of its power. Or if you're an endurance athlete and you haven't done at least 10,000 footsteps of a long run or a bike ride or whatever, at the end of the day your body's going to feel pretty weird because it just didn't get the usual hour plus of exercise time that it usually had. So you feed your body this exercise, these types of exercise, and it'll learn to want that type of exercise. You can always change and differentiate what you're doing, and kind of like a varied diet for your body to benefit from. Anyway, that's a little bit more on how much you can do at once.